right, great Thursday morning, everyone. It is Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, welcome to Thursday morning, January 8th. Hope everybody is doing great and that you are attacking your day. And I am doing this from my vehicle, so you'll have to bear with me as I scroll through here to be able to get myself on camera. But man, what a gorgeous day outside right now. Hey, there we are. What's going on, everybody? Hope you are great. I hope you are fantastic. Listen, man, I'm going to make it very simple. I'm making it very quick and to the point. What I have learned in my few years of entrepreneurship, what I have learned in building MH Sales Mastery over the last almost 3 years, compared to my life before that, is your work ethic is hands down the only thing that determines whether or not you succeed. Plain and simple. And I know some of you are going to want to try to tell me, well, that's not true. Everybody's got all these different advantages. Everybody's got all these things. Well, listen, just like the quote said, right, from Daniel Milstein, life doesn't give you what you wish for, it gives you what you work for. Let's say that again. You don't get out of life what you wish for. You get what you work for. And that's the whole idea, right? And most people are trying to do as little as possible. Most people are trying to get away with as little as possible. How can I do the least amount of work for the most amount of pay? How can I skip these steps and get to the finish line quicker, right? And listen, I'm all about efficiency. Believe me, I am all about efficiency. Last night I was at my Muay Thai class, and I'm working with one of the instructors, and he's talking me through this one move, right? And he says, "Look, if you do this instead of that, you take one step out, and you're that much quicker to react." And hey, I get that, fantastic, but you still got to put in the work. You still have to learn the efficiency. You can't just implement the efficiency and think, okay, I got it figured out. Man, it's a very awkward move, and you got to learn it. You got to master it. Well, in life and in business, ladies and gentlemen, it's the same thing. If you don't put in the work, you're going to get nothing out of it. If you're trying to do as little amount of work for the most amount of pay, it may pay off for you for a little while. You may get away with it for a little while, but eventually, the truth comes out. In other words, eventually you start earning in relation to the amount of work you put in. Plain and simple. And what I mean by amount of work, I'm not talking about time. I am not talking about time here. Because a lot of you spend all day at the office, but you don't do shit. Right? So it's not about how much time you're at the office. It's what you do while you're at the office that matters. That's what's going to determine what you do or don't get out of life and out of business. So going back to what I was saying, some people will say, well, listen, I don't have all the knowledge. I didn't go to the schools. I didn't do all these other things, right? And blah, 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 crying over their wine and cheese. But listen, you may not have the same resources as somebody else. Okay? I am well aware. Look, I grew up very, very poor, raised by a single mom, immigrant mom. I'm a first generation American. You guys keep hearing me say that, right? So I understand not having resources. I understand not knowing what it takes to operate at this level. And there are some other people that may be born into it, right? They already had that lineage. They had somebody or they had people in their life that knew these things and shared these things with them, as opposed to you. I get it. But the beautiful thing about it, especially today in 2026 and over the last, God, how long have we had the internet? Man, since the early 90s, whatever that was. Since then, everybody has the same amount of information available to them. You may have to just put in twice as much work, because not only do you have to do the work that has to be done, you have to do the work to learn what needs to be done. And that's where most people fail. They don't want to put in the work. Oh, Caesar, you keep saying that we can make all this money. Oh, Caesar, you say that there's plenty of buyers out there. Oh, Caesar, you say that, we should be able to do this and do that. Yeah, you should. You should be able to. I didn't say it was going to be easy, but you can. Look, getting MH Sales Mastery to where we're at right now was far from easy. Was far from easy. Let me put it to you this way. Not only did I have to put in the time, and look, we are 3 years into it, and even to today, right now, yesterday, I kid you not, yesterday I probably worked about 18 hours. I maybe ate for my 3 meals that I had. I probably ate those all in 1 hour, but I actually worked like 18 hours, went to my Muay Thai class, and then passed out. So, but what I'm trying to tell you is this, right? Like, I've had to been putting in the work, but I'm gonna give you a comparison. This time 3 years ago, yeah, yep, this time 3 years ago, yep, this time 3 years ago exactly. Check this out. I was getting ready to go to Louisville. I had busted my butt, paid to have a booth at Louisville. That was the first show ever I was going to do. And this will be our third year. So I was just 2 years ago, right? This will be our third year there. So anyway, I'm driving to Louisville. 3 years ago, I was driving to Louisville because I couldn't pay for a flight. Man, when I drove there, I didn't know where I was going to stay. Man, it was, and I still, while driving, had to work, had to just keep moving, right? Grinding. And you fast forward now, this is going to be our third year there, our third time there. I'm bringing a team of 6 with me. I don't say that to brag. I say that in the sense of that only happens through work. You've got to be resourceful. You're going to have to take in the hard times with it. You're going to have to grow. You can't avoid the work, but you can certainly get the rewards. You will be rewarded for the amount of work that you put in. You will be compensated, okay, for the amount of work that you put in. But you put in no work, you get no reward. Plain and simple. And so for those of you right now that have maybe been at it a few years or a few months or maybe a few decades, and you haven't reached levels of financial security, you haven't reached levels of financial gain, you haven't reached levels of success, and that you see everybody else doing, that's on you. It may take you longer to get there, but listen, it should take you 2 or 3 years. Okay? Somebody may come in and be able to jump right in because they've already built those skills before they came in, of work ethic, of applying themselves, of focus, of discipline. Those are the things that you need right now. If you're in manufacturer home sales and you're getting into this thing, understand this: it's not going to be easy. The work the being able to do the work is easier. There's a lot more tools that make it more efficient, and we're bringing some of those to Louisville with us. All right, we got some great partnerships, and we're gonna bring you guys some things that are gonna streamline your work. We're bringing you guys some things that are gonna make you more effective, more efficient. Excuse me. But you still have to do the work. And so, for those of you out there that are struggling, that are paycheck to paycheck, maybe even not that. Those of you that have been in the business 3 months, 6 months, and not doing what you should be doing, especially if you've been in it 2, 3 years, That's on you, my brothers and sisters. That's on you. And I tell you that with all the love in my heart. Because if I, this dumbass, can take what we have established so far with MA Sales Mastery, take it from ground floor, zero, no business, no company like that in the industry to where we are today, having traveled all across the country, having worked with hundreds of sales consultants, some of them great experiences, some of them not so great, right? Having recreated and produced the national training program, the training program, these partnerships that are coming, everything, man. But it's work. You guys see it. You guys see it all the time. From podcasts that I hadn't been able to do because we moved from San Antonio to Frisco, and now starting back up with that, to all these meetings that I got to be running these sales teams, and then our clients, and then our team. I told you, I'm bringing 6 people with me. That's that one staying back. Actually, yeah, one is staying back. But that all comes from the work. So what work are you doing? How much effort are you putting in? Not time, not time. Don't give me that bullshit of time. Because I know some of you go into the office and you're there all day and don't do anything. I see it right now happening. Right? And then everybody they'll look at you if you're the successful one, or they'll look and they'll say, well, he's lucky, or she's lucky, or they don't know. What do you mean I don't know what you're going through? What do you mean I don't know what you're going through? I had to go through it. I had to go through it twice as bad because I had to build a business that did not exist. No one knew about it. No, there was nothing like it. When I started calling on people, people would look at me funny. At least you're calling people about housing that they already know about. Your systems, everything's established. You just have to ingrain yourself. You have to get focused, get disciplined, and go and attack. And your life could look completely different. But it's not going to happen if you're lazy. It's not going to happen if you convince yourself that everything else is more important. Nothing else is more important than the work you got to do. Well, I've got my family. Well, guess what? You can't take care of your family if you don't have the money. You can't. When I first got into business, the owner of the company that I joined, Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, Manufactured Housing Consultants was the name of that company. He used to say, you know, when somebody wanted to take some time off and whatnot, and they hadn't sold anything, it's funny, right? It's kind of harsh, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And somebody wanted to take some time off, he would tell the guy, like, your family doesn't want your ass at home broke? Well, what do you want me home for? You ain't got no money. It's the truth. So what are you going to change about the type of work that you put in? Because if you change your effort, if you change your resourcefulness, if you focus in on the fact that you've got to put in the work and you commit yourself to it, not fool yourself, and not get into the office today and spend all day working on files and paper. Work on the shit that's going to get you paid. Sorry, I mean, I get passionate about this and I sarcastically apologize. Work on the things that are going to get you paid. Attack on the phones, call after call, and text or email, and get yourself out there. Get the attention, man. You guys see all our social platforms, man. You're everywhere. Yeah. You know what? You have to be. And yes, I'm at the beginning, the first year and a half, almost 2 years. That was all me. I had to do it all. I had to not only make the calls and design the programs and shoot the videos and edit them myself and do the podcast myself and edit it myself and put it out, all that stuff. Now I'm blessed to have people that can do that. But now that means I've got extra responsibilities because you got to pay those people too. So what does your work ethic say about you? I'll tell you this. Your results your lot in life and business right now say a lot about your work ethic. Just here to tell you. So I hope that you guys will grab onto this message as I share this with you with passion of just, it's like me shaking you right now and say, please listen. You can do, you can change everything about your life. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work, but it will happen. It will happen. You cannot be denied if you put in the damn work. If you continue to grow, continue to learn, all of that is part of it, right? It's not just the work. It's learn to get better so that you can do better work. If you do those things, my gosh, be completely different. You're going to look back 9, 12 months from now, and it's going to look completely different. And your loved ones are going to look at you completely different. And that's what I want for you guys. So this Thursday, I hope you take this, man, and run with it. And if there's a way that we can help you, reach out, let me know. Be more than happy to talk to you about it. Because you know that we're here to take your life, your business, and your career to a whole new level. You guys have a great day. And if you're going to be in Louisville, reach out to me. Love to talk to you. Love to have you on the Manufacturer to Win live podcast. We're going to be unveiling a whole bunch of stuff out there, man. So be ready. A lot of great surprises coming. All right. And it's all because of the work ethic. Talk to y'all later.